Did you know that the number of international migrants worldwide has continued to grow over the past 17 years, reaching 258 million in 2017? More than 60% of those migrants live in Asia and Europe alone, with North America hosting the third largest number of international migrants. Have you ever wondered why is it that people migrate to those places? Or why do they even migrate at all? Today, we are going to try to give an answer based on the following 5 factors: environmental, social, political, cultural, and economical. But first, let's start defining what migration is. According to the Oxford Dictionary, migration is the movement of people to a new area, country, in order to find work or better living conditions, such as
migration caused by environmental factors is increasing involuntarily. Environmental factors cause displacement or the forced movement of people by social or environmental factors. Crop failure, for example, often results in both food scarcity and a drop in agricultural jobs, prompting people to move to a place with better job opportunities and climate. Pollution of water, air, and soil in both urban and rural settings can also create a serious health risk to locals, forcing them to look for a better life for themselves and their children. Devastating natural disasters such as tsunamis, hurricanes, and earthquakes are environmental factors that the news most often cover. In January 2010, for example, a deadly earthquake hit Haiti, claiming the lives of over 90,000 people and displacing over 1.5 million others. Despite humanitarian aid, many suffered from disease and the lack of proper shelter and basic supplies. Likewise, recent studies cite global warming as a cause for the increase in violent conflict around the world. The recent example of the Syrian drought from 2006 to 2011 was catastrophic, causing many families to lose their farms and move into big cities. The drought also increased food prices, facilitating poverty. Although global warming did not create the conflict we are witnessing today, environmental factors are important in human migration.
Social factors motivating migration grow from the human needs and desires to achieve a better quality of life. Migrants often move to ensure better opportunities for themselves or their family, like sending their child to a better, safer school, start their own business with good politics and low cost, or finding a job that would have not only a sufficient salary but also important benefits and career growth prospects. In terms of education, the United States graduate programs have been a particularly strong attraction for young, talented individuals around the world. In this case, some people who work in foreign countries have earned a satisfactory income and received a green card, hope that their family in home country will be reunited abroad in the shortest possible time. Individuals can also migrate in search of services, such as life-saving surgery and medical treatment that are inaccessible in their home area. In addition, marriage is also a social factor affecting the wealth of immigrants. Some same-sex couples who live in countries that do not allow same-sex marriage will immigrate to a country where same-sex marriage is legal.
Now let's talk about the political reasons. The first and most obvious political reason is war. There are approximately 42 million people worldwide who have been forced to migrate because of that. People leave their country in order to escape from a dangerous situation or as a way of prevention. A current example is the migratory waves coming from African countries with political tension or wars such as Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, or Niger. Most of the migrants of those countries are going to Libya, where they hope to cross the Mediterranean Sea in order to go to Europe. However, this is not an easy task. There are a lot of dangers on the way. In the Sahara, migrants have to cross deserts by feet in very difficult conditions. Because of the length of the trip, the warmth, and the lack of water, a lot of them don't make it to Libya. In Libya, they have to pay a lot of money, which they usually don't have, to migrants, smugglers. Once they got the money, they can take the boats to go to Europe. However, this is also very risky. The boats are old, small, and overloaded. A lot of people die because they can't swim or because the boats sink. If those migrants take all those risks, it is because they see no possibility of improvement in their country due to dictatorship, terrorism, genocides, or ethnic conflicts. There are a lot of reasons that cause political instability. Taking those factors into account, the World Data Bank created the Political Stability Index in order to rank countries all around the world. This gives a good idea of countries that are unstable and where international help is needed.
Culture is what makes a country unique. People can migrate because they like the culture of a specific country or region. It can be the cuisine, the monuments, the lifestyle, the language, the music, the movies, etc. The interesting thing with this factor of migration is that people can have a good life in their home country, money, good healthcare, good education, but wants to go to another one. My parents are Romanian, and I asked my mother why, even if she was the chief accountant in the central bank of her home country, she decided to go to France. There were not only cultural reasons, but they were the most important ones. She said that she read a lot of historical French books, she really liked their way of thinking and dreamed about going there. The monuments, the theaters, the fashion, the language, the gastronomy, the liberty to choose your life, because France is an individualistic society when Armenia is more collectivist, are some of the reasons why she wanted to go live in France. There is also the reverse, like a French cooker, Romain Bouvier, who went to Armenia for a short time but decided to stay because he liked the lifestyle. Indeed, Armenia is less stressful, the life is more easy and tranquil, people are more relaxed, friendly and welcoming. Even if there are more popular countries to emigrate, each one has its own culture and it can appeal some people and not others.
Now let's talk about economic migration and its reason. Whether permanent or seasonal is commonly cited reason for migration. In general, it's believed that in economic migration, people move from poorer country developing areas into richer areas where rates are higher and jobs are available. It's also common for people from rural areas to move to more competitive urban areas in order to find more opportunities. Refugees fleeing wars and conflicts should not be confused with economic migrants. In addition, in most cases contrary to the idea received, they come legally into the host country, offer of work abroad, recruitment of researchers, foreign specialists, etc. We can take the example of Mexicans' migration into the United States, which portrays the importance of both push and pull factors in economic migration. Also towards the 20th century, seasonal Mexican laborers have crossed the border in search of work in the American cultural industry, as the economic state of Mexico did not match the level of economic prosperity found in America. In the 21st century, however, Mexican migration has slowed down significantly. And after the American recession of 2009, economic migration from Mexico to the United States began to decline. Studies show that Mexican household economies have improved due to the factors like increases in access to education. As Mexico's financial state improved and the United States temporarily struggled, both push and pull factors eroded, causing the dwindling of migration. To conclude, economic migration is not always well received but can be useful for both the host country and the migrants. This can be seen as a transfer of knowledge, overcoming the lack of staff in some sectors neglected by indigenous population, but also increasing consumption in the host country, like housing, food, etc.
After hearing all that explanation, if the question, why do people migrate, is ever asked to you, then the reply shall be, people migrate for very different reasons, like improvement of their life quality, escaping wars or natural disasters, for work or school opportunities. However, they all share a common goal, to get a chance at a better and brighter future.